And we're recording live from a secret location. It's the Sungod, and we back at it again with more gold bangers. This time, episode 91 called Hobaba. And we're actually, I believe, 8 episodes away from chapter 100. Um, the fan art of the week is by Levent, and it looks like it's a Baki inspired fan art. It's this guy doing just a straight up kick. This mug is disgusting. His portions is weird, but nice art, nice art. And it definitely is a Baki inspired character. He has the face of a demon on his back. So this chapter goal was really, really nice. We get a fight, we get some talking, and we get to see the master of Ki himself. I'm not going to tell you when he pops into the chapter, but it was a really good chapter. So with that out of the way, let's get this going. So we pick up exactly where we left off with the giant toad frog. I know I need to keep my continuity together, but a frog and a toad is the same thing to me. As it's screaming, rah! I really like the layout of the onomatopoeia raw. It's just really cool. It's like the toad's saliva that it's like rah, and that's it. That is actually spitting out. Gold and the Master Key by Atimaru and the Kobe DC. This chapter also answers some questions that we had in the last chapter, and always it sets up for new questions in form for the following chapter. Holy mama, Gold says. Apparently, Layla and Ran are actually kind of keen to what this creature is. Layla says, it's the giant frog Hobaba. And I'm assuming maybe this frog is possibly a Star Wars reference. Because in the Star Wars, the Jedi series, you have to fight a giant frog. And I think that's what this frog is, now that I'm thinking about it. And what's very interesting about this frog is that it's disgustingly fast. Like, disgustingly fast. As it's gearing up for its initial attack, Rand, Gold, Layla, and they begin to take battle stations. And as a frog does, he sticks his tongue out. Gold dodges the first attack along with Rand and Layla. Gold's like, oh shit, it's a big ass frog. I'm not sure if Gold is actually aware of what this creature is. And now that I'm thinking about it, he probably wouldn't be aware of it because he only lived inside of the denser rock forest. He's never been past the Wyvern Mountain. Unless they got books, but I don't know if Gold can read. He can draw maps. Splash. Layla lands on some rocks somewhere out of the distance, and Rand lands on a tree, but he doesn't land on his feet. He lands on his back. Be careful, Gold, as he puts on his Nika goggles. This one is huge, but hobobos are known to be very, and that's when he tells us, fast. And we see this thing dart, like, like leaving, like, after images fast. Not doing that here, but that's how fast this thing is moving. It goes like, what the fuck? And from the knowledge that I'm gathering from here is that, or that I gathered, is that hobobos, or probably hobabas, are usually not this big, because they mentioned that this one is huge. So the ones that they usually come across are probably not as large as this one. And maybe that has something to do with the flowers that they were smelling. Maybe that not only increases their, like, just not destructive, but their aggression, but also probably makes them larger. But we'll get to that. As this mug takes off, goes like, ah! And it tags Gold in the air. But at the same time it tags Gold, it's like, ugh. Ran is already on the defense. Or not Ran, but Layla. She throws in one of her daggers. It hits the tongue of the frog, and it reels in pain, releasing gold from his tongue. And at the same time he releases gold, Rand comes in. And this is actually kind of funny because they are so minuscule compared to this compared to this frog. So when Rand goes up to stab this thing, he's only like cutting his leg up, but he does this nice cool pattern where he slices at the frog. He slices at the frog's Hobaba's leg. Looks like some Atomic Samurai slashes. And then the frog like just immediately like side pivots, and you can tell this frog is moving quick because they have the red blur on his eyes and just the water. I like the battleground that they're fighting in. I like when the background actually takes part in the battle. Like that's also like the background is also a character is what I'm trying to say. I like when artists can really move the background along with the fights. That's why I really like Gosu and Asura. But the frog is like, what the fuck? And he goes to attack Rand. Rand dodges the attack, obviously. And as he's dodging the attack, he shoots some of his spider webs, wraps it around the tongue. And y'all, they're moving like a well-oiled fucking machine. Pistons and carburetors moving. Pistons and carburetors just firing off. Layla is in the air. The frog tongues go back. The frog retreats his tongue back to his mouth. Don't really need to say that part. But Layla is in the air. Again, she throws another one of her daggers down. And I'm like, what damage could they possibly do to this frog? Like, compared to like how small they is, they would be fighting this frog for days. Possibly days, at least hours before they actually did any real damage to it. And let's give a shout out to the creatures in here because these are some deadly creatures that roams around the world of gold. It's almost like the capture level on Tory Code. Like it takes, I think like 100, like capture level is like 10 men. So anything times that would be, so like 1,000 would be like 50 men or something like that. I'm not really that good at math, so don't judge me. My mama told me never do math on camera. I never do math without a calculator. So I'm assuming this frog's capture level currently, maybe because it's like enraged by the flower, or maybe it just literally attacked the village just because of fuck's sake. Because we do learn some information later on in the chapter, and I'm assuming I'm not gonna jump to the part, but yeah, we learned some information later on in the chapter that kind of refutes all this evidence that I'm currently telling y'all. But we'll get to that and solve that issue when we come to it. So this frog's capture level is probably like 1,500, and it's really a dangerous foe because not just his size, but his speed, and it also can do some tricks. But we'll get to that part also. So as she throws the dagger down, she comes and lands with the dagger. She comes and lands on the dagger and puts it farther inside of the frog. Pushes a little dagger, stabs its nose, and she follows that up with one of her key attacks. We actually get to see her put it. I don't know if she put her back into it, but she put her brack into it. Puts her brack into it. Boosh. Sorry, that was my bottle that fell. Right into the kisser. Deforms his face. You see the shockwave kind of traveling through it. Bang. But this does nothing. He's not affected. He's not affected at all. This just does nothing but piss him off. Like, literally. From there, like, just that, how can I say? It does nothing but piss him off. He immediately almost goes into a defensive posture. And the spikes that's on his back protrude out and they grow larger. So this thing is deaf. When I see why it was able to cause so much damage to the village, and why the ending result of what happened to, I don't want to get into that part, but I don't want to spoil it. But we see why it's such a dangerous foe. And even for a creature that's probably bigger than that, for him to have these spikes that protrude out like this, if there was a creature that tried to bite him or swallow him, for this to be his defense measure, it's like a porcupine. You're not going to be able to eat this frog. So he immediately curls up into a defensive position. Spike shoots out. And the wire that Rand wrapped around his tongue is currently still on his tongue. Just remember that. Rand comes in. He tries to go for a swipe at the frog, but using its observation haki, because all creatures have haki or chi, and it looks kind of cool the way he dodges back. He's like, he looks like a Ninja Turtle, like a 30-foot tall mutant, but he's not a teenage one. He jumps back, but with the string still in his mouth, Rand kind of just pulls the string taut. And it kind of keeps the frog in place. I doubt that Rand's strength was able to keep that frog in place, but the frog doesn't move. He just screams, fire! And then it takes off into the air. Oh, and what I wanted to say about this frog was, it makes sense how fast it was moving. It'd be interesting if the frog could kick and do some stuff like that, because the frog, mostly their power comes from their legs. So if this was like, if this was like some Kung Fu Ninja Turtle frog, and it actually like kicked or something like that, that would actually be cool. But it just takes off into the air. Rand still is with the string. By this time, Go, Layla, they come together. And the frog does a counterattack. Not a counterattack, but as he's leaping in the air, he's using that chance to pull Rand towards him and swallow him whole.
Never been swallow you up. Swallow you up. You laughing.
But, and this is actually a really cool part of the chapter, is Go actually taking initiative in this part, and not just running from a fight and accidentally like defeating the beast, or just knowingly killing the beast in some accidental way. He says, if I want to make a difference, I gotta start now. Like, yo, the growth from my man. That's why he's the GOAT. He says, Layla. And basically the move that he does, he doesn't actually take out the beast in this chapter. He really just provides support for the team. But that's just enough right now. He's a kid. And he's just learning about the world. So he doesn't need to be the main star of the show. All he needs to do, like, they're writing his characters so well. Like, he doesn't need to save every situation. He can't save every situation. He's kind of being treated like Gon from Hunter x Hunter. Even though as naturally gifted as Gon is, in the world of hunters, he's still the small fry on the pecking scale. So he does this move that Sanji and Zoro does against the Fishman brothers. He launches Layla. He uses one of his kicks. And there's no A-mod in this or nothing. There's no red kick. It's just a natural gold kick. These proportions. How they got him swinging his leg. She jumps onto his leg. And he sends her into the sky. And she delivers another one of those powerful key blasts straight to Hobaba. Blam, like sending shock waves through this boy. And his spits ran out at the same time. Rand lands on his feet, still ready for action. Goes like, oh shit. And he does some dope ass shit. He does basically like a pancreatic string, whatever Doflamingo's move is. pantachromic string, and with his spider's thread, he just like that, and removes the frog's tongue from his mouth. That's the last meal we'll be eating for, well, for the rest of his mouth, for the rest of his life, because they kill this thing at the end of this chapter. But if it did manage to get away, it probably died of starvation or something like that. Or I think frogs can even, like, I don't know, how would it hunt if half of his tongue was taken off? I think that'd still be his last meal. And we finally hear it scream out in pain. Croak! It's not ah or whatever, or like, I'm in pain. It's croak. And this was enough to leave it severely injured or reeling in pain. It falls over to his back, and Layla's still like, Layla was the MVP. She was, I wouldn't say the MVP of the chapter because everybody worked very hard in this chapter, but I would say she was the MVP because without her strikes, there's no way we would have been able to take this creature down. Go would have had to get mad, go A-mod for us to be able to defeat this creature. Yeah, I don't think this frog is stronger than I'm about to say she hang king, but one of the demon captains, the one that Gold killed with like one hit. What was his name? I be forgetting the demon captain's name. But there's Shunya On, there's Hat Ogu, Kenraki Zeke Kenraki. With that, as she comes down, she delivers this nasty punch, which finishes this frog off, and you know it's finishes because, or you know it's finished because it upchucks. This mug was like this big, now it's like this big when she's done with it. She flattened this dude. Goes like, hell yeah, we did it. Well, mostly you two did it, but we did it. Long we seen us, we did it. Hey, we did it. Oh, yeah. Where it says, nice hit, Layla. Frog. The Peter Griffin land. And we see the weapons of the adventurers that the chief of the village hired. All three of them. Yeah, all three of them is sticking out of the frog. And the blade from the adventurer, one of the old man with the big old blade, that blade is stuck pretty far on that frog. And this thing, it was moving like it almost didn't feel any of this pain. It probably didn't even recognize those blades were stuck inside of them. So this was a very deadly and powerful foe that even normal rank adventurers couldn't even take on by themselves. Luckily, the villager head did hire them because, she would have been on the ceiling. Gold remembers. He says, oh yeah, this weapon was from the hunter guys we saw in the village. Yeah, what if Gold got this, what if Gold ends up getting like a giant ass blade like this someday in the future? That'd be cool. Obviously, he can't keep Tony for the rest of his life. What is he gonna be like? It'd be cool if he just had like a one little dagger and feet and hands. It'd be very interesting. He'd be like some type of shadow hunter. He'd be like Sun Jin Woo. Because, with A-mod ability, he was able to summon those hell spawns. Oh my God, Coda's gonna be so broken. I can't wait to he unlocks some type of devil, beast, dragon bow. He's gonna have like horns, a crown, some dragon skin. This man is gonna be a monster, and I cannot wait. I cannot fucking wait. He says, this sword is huge. It was extra vicious, Rand says. This must be what they meant when they said the beasts were behaving differently. Rand wonders, I wonder why it attacked Okikia village when they already have warding pillars. That was a question that has been brought up. Could it be that the animals are slowly becoming immune to the beast warding plants? And this just set up so many fucking questions, but also answered some questions that we did have. No, that plant is not making them go crazy. Yes, it's making them go crazy, but it's to keep the creatures away from the village. So they kind of have a 2-layer step plan to keep the village safe. The warding pillars, and then the flowers. It's kind of like, what show was I watching that had those flowers in there? It was like poppy seeds or something like that. I don't know. Or is there an actual bigger underlying reason for why the creatures are continuing to invade the village? We know that giant kangaroo dragon thing is walking around. That Komodo dragon. That thing is walking around. And it didn't seem to be affected by the plants. And maybe it was too big for it to sniff the plants, but they just walked by and crushed them. So, for some reason, something is going on. Maybe since that creature has invaded the territory, it's been crushing all of the beast warding plants, which is allowing like certain access into the villages, into Okikia village. And that's why the creatures are attacking and stuff like that. 1, because the beast warding plants are being destroyed, and 2, because that creature is making them go all cuckoo for fucking Cocoa Puffs. Okay. So all our theories about was the flower making them go crazy, and that's why they was attacking the village, and was somebody planting them? Was it man-made? Maybe, I mean, yeah, it was possibly man-made, but it wasn't used for an attack towards the village. And then we switch to the last couple pages of this chapter. We get to see him, the Master of Key, Jareth Fullbringer. He has scars over his body, and he has this mark on his arm. It's a golden mark that goes straight down his arm, a tattoo, like a tattoo, square tattoos. I think he has a circle right here on his hand, almost kind of like some type of Omega symbol. It's a circle on his hand, but that's what the feeling I get from this. And he has a bandage on his other arm. And what he's doing is, from what we can see, he's possibly investigating the beast warding flowers. And as he's doing that, I don't know if these dogs are his. Like, my dogs found it. Like, but 1, 2, 3, 4, like colossal armored hellhound dogs are right behind him. Now, I'm not sure if these are his buddies or if these are actually like creatures that were roaming around in the forest. And these are the natural predators that are around here in this forest. And if that flower was warding off like massive creatures like this, that's what it was. It was some type of plant or something in Toriko. I still can't remember what it is, but it's something in Toriko. But these flowers are kind of like OP broken. And we really need these things back. And if they're not his boys, he's about to be in for a fucking fight. Like, these things are colossal. Like, tail B size almost. I'm not sure. Because for some reason, I'm getting man-made creatures right now. I'm getting some type of man-made feel that somebody's biologically engineering these creatures or something like that. I don't know why, but that's just the feel I'm getting. And that's the end of the chapter. Yeah, it was a nice, solid chapter. We get the dum-dum. And that's the end of the chapter. Let's see. The real question is, will Gold cook it? Let's see what I get like. Magnificent opening fan art. That was a really nice panel. Picture. Those wolves look elite. Yo, these mugs look wicked sick. Okay. So, I don't think I have any speculations for the next chapter. Obviously, we'll go back to the village, bring the evidence of the frog. He'll give us some more information about the Beastmaster, not the Beastmaster, but the Keymaster, and then we'll just head out. And since he's investigating this, and since the Keymaster is currently investigating these flowers, that's what it seems like. Maybe he's the leader of this certain area right now, and he's meant to keep maintain balance up here. Or maybe he was eventually, or maybe he was in like a farmer or guild master or something like that. We can speculate on his past in the next chapter, because since he's speculating these flowers, or he's investigating this plot point of whatever happening right now, even though we're moving forward, we're gonna circle back around to this point eventually. So that's very interesting. They didn't set some stuff up. We got some stuff for the future coming. And I can't wait for Gull and the Master Key's first interaction. So if you guys enjoyed the content, as always, you know what to do. The Sun God is out. Peace.